qualifying day in Spa-Francorchamps for the Belgian Grand Prix, and Oscar Piastri has taken an absolutely dominant pole position. He beat his teammate by over half a second and just about beat Max Verstappen by almost half a second. But the day really wasn't about the activity on track. It was about Laurent Mekies taking his first day of action in charge of Red Bull Racing. We're going to come on to that and how Max Verstappen handled the pressure with his new boss, the first time he's had a new boss at Red Bull Racing. But first, Ludo Van Denderen, we have to talk about the sprint qualifying, and Piastri looking good, Verstappen looking good, but there's also other stories further back. What can you tell us from this first day of action in Belgium?
Yeah, of course we saw also how Lewis Hamilton had a very difficult sprint qualifying today. It's fun while he came up a little bit behind us for the main straight. So that means end of his qualifying already in Q1. And also there's another guy who had a terrible day. It was Kimi Antonelli. He didn't come. He also sprinted, by the way, and he was in the 20th spot. Two big names not making it to Q1, and they have a very difficult race tomorrow. And only 8 people who can have points tomorrow, so they're probably going to have a difficult afternoon.
Let me talk a little bit about that. Hamilton said it's the first time he's had rear locking issues in his career. This is meant to be the time of Ferrari bringing an upgrade package, but he looks completely at sea today. Is Ferrari doing something wrong? He's made all these noises recently about moving forwards and wanting to be a champion at the team, but this wasn't a championship performance.
It was really strange what he did. It's not Lewis Hamilton to have such a mistake. It has to be something with the car, because it was on a really small, slow corner. It looked like everything's locking up, and he just lost the car. And the car is not that bad, because we saw that this morning in the pre-practice where Ferrari was pretty close to Max in qualifying, so in the free practice. So there is some potential in it, but it just didn't work out today for Lewis.
Let's talk at the other end. The side of the grid where Lewis wants to be, of course, and that was Oscar Piastri and Max Verstappen locking out the front row for the sprint race. But the story really in the on-track action is Oscar Piastri. I've not seen a driver look so comfortable in a car compared to everybody else, including his teammate, this far ahead for quite a long time. This is like the days of old.
Yeah, Oscar is with Lando in a championship battle. And on a day like today, you see that Oscar really is the favorite, I think. We saw the qualifying in Q3. Lando was the first one to get the first spot. Then Max came over it. Oscar did it with a huge time difference. It was almost perfect lap from Oscar. And if Oscar's driving like this, I don't think there's anybody who can stop him tomorrow.
Just going to apologise to anybody listening who's struggling there with Ludo. He's obviously at the racetrack, and I think is it Formula 2 or 3 or something going on behind you, getting quite loud, Ludo. But let's try and talk through it. It's motorsport. We love to see it. Let's go through this Laurent Mekies press conference. It's facing the media, and Christian Horner gone. This is a new Red Bull Racing. How did he handle the media spotlight with this new role for him?
It was almost a perfect press conference from Mekies. It was totally different than what we're used to with Christian Horner. To give you an example, before the press conference, Laurent Mekies entered the press room and he shook hands with all the journalists that he saw. How are you? It's just a totally different atmosphere. Also, the other team bosses that were there, Jonathan Wheatley and Komatsu from Haas F1, everybody seems to like Mekies. Everybody seems to enjoy that he's the new team boss. And he also made a very calm, very nice impression. He spoke nice words about Christian Horner. Talked about the future, didn't say strange things. He looked pretty okay, and I hear in the paddock that everybody loves that he's now the new team boss, and even the Verstappens love him. So who knows what this is going to bring?
Well, it's brought a front row for his first qualifying, not real qualifying yet, but sprint qualifying in charge. But we've got to talk about the past a little bit as well, because today's the day you usually get a little bit of chat from Dr. Helmut Marko. What's he had to say about this whole Horner situation? He was, of course, maybe pivotal in the whole operation at Red Bull. Now he's going in without Horner, who's been there again since the start of the team's formation.
Well, of course, it's not a secret that Helmut Marko was one of the 2 people who decided that Christian Horner had to go. You have to see it a little bit like this. After a session, Helmut Marko comes out of the garage and he always talks with the media. Ask him something, Helmut answers. Today, he walked out after a free practice. He was asked, Bunny, can I ask you something about the polling that's coming up and about the last few days? and he refused that. And then it's really new. It looks like that Helmut Marko is not going to say anything about Horner for the time being.
Is that something from your perspective, Ludo, that Helmut's been so happy to talk to media because Horner was there, or was he using the media in his own way to maybe change the narrative of how he wants Red Bull to be spoken of? Why this sudden change or new approach to handling the media on these Friday sessions where we usually get so much from him?
My idea is that as long as there's still a contract with Christian Horner, that they're not going to talk about him because they're afraid that there's going to be problems with the contract development, that Horner can sue them for things that Helmut perhaps said. So the best thing is just to be quiet and not say anything about Horner, probably until everything is settled.
Sounds just like how Max Verstappen wants his press conferences, just staying silent. So that's going to be an interesting one to see how it plays out. Of course, we've got the whole weekend still to play out. And Ludo, you're going to be there talking through the sprint race and qualifying in a very busy sprint Saturday tomorrow. Look forward to everything you can find from that busy Saturday, Ludo. Thank you for dealing with the noise today with going outside and hearing those cars on track, and for everything you brought us so far. Thank you for that, and thank you everybody else for watching.